Hey guys, welcome back to MMA Library. Today in MMA and UFC news, Alex Pereira posts footage of his last striking session ahead of his rematch with Israel Adesanya at UFC 287. Here's the footage. Logan Paul claims Nate Diaz turned down a boxing match against him. During an interview with Ariel Helwani, Logan had this to say: "My next fight was Nate Diaz. I thought I had something locked in, but apparently he said the fight was off. Like why? So he could fight someone else? For what purpose? To get less buys and maybe get an easier fight? I don't get it. As far as I know, it's not dead because we had to offer him more money. It's like we're baiting this guy into fighting me. It's hard for me to get a fight because either you're not worth my time and energy or you're not going to sell pay-per-views. I'll do it, but I need a dance partner, and I don't need a tune-up fight. Give me the real dogs. Nate is a dog. I was looking forward to that fight, then I got a call the other day and they said they didn't want to do it, they wanted a different fight. It was almost done, I don't know." During a recent interview with Brett Okamoto, Jorge Masvidal claims Gilbert Burns wants to be just like him. Here's the clip.
So when I think of these things, I'm like, nah, not me, man. I work hard for all this and I'm never going back, so first thing is like Gilbert in the stretcher, because he's trying to send me back here. He's trying to take my money away, And I know his little Brazilian ass is. He has that envy in his eye. I see it in his face, He wants to be me. He wants what I have. He wants the draw that I am in the sport. It's not gonna happen, buddy. Up bad, brother. But you know what? I'll send you a gift basket because I got a lot of money now to the hospital bed you're in. But ain't no one taking the shit I work for from me, bro.
In the lead up to the rematch between Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira, Michael Bisping has made a bold prediction on the fight. Bisping suggests Adesanya may hunt for a submission in the fight.
You don't have to be a great wrestler to learn the mechanics to do a double leg takedown. And certainly when you're Israel Adesanya, Alex Pereira isn't necessarily going to expect that off the bat. Look, Izzy can break dance, okay? He's a phenomenally coordinated fighter, okay? He's got way better coordination than me. I can't dance. I certainly can't break dance, but I could learn how to do a double leg takedown. And what I'm saying is if I can do that, then so can Israel Adesanya. So I'm just going to throw it out there. Don't be surprised if you see Izzy go out there, pretend to trade on the feet, double jab, right hand, whatever the combination may be, to get a reaction from Pereira. And when the arms come up, you level change, you're shooting, you get your arms around the leg, run him into the fence, pick him up, slam him down, and there you go. Now listen, of course, Pereira training with the likes of Glover, Teixeira, and of course Chuck Liddell, they've been there, done it, got the t-shirt, they know how to get back to the feet, but the element of surprise from Israel Adesanya, he might just catch him, you never know.
Anthony Pettis wants Anderson Silva after beating Roy Jones Jr. in his boxing debut. Here's what Pettis had to say at the Game Bread 4 post-fight press conference.
I know you mentioned Anderson Silva in a couple interviews. You think you can fight anyone in the next, these 40 pounds?
I'd love to fight Anderson Silva, and that's supposed to happen in the UFC. And I think, for me, it's the weight definitely matters, but I'm gonna pay attention to my coaches. I'm one of those guys that anywhere, anytime, don't matter the rule set. I'm down to fight. So I listen to my coach, Jorge Capetillo. He definitely helped me get to this position I'm in right now. So I think we'll be strategic on the fights that I take, but I'm having fun with this. I'm having a good time. I'm getting better. I'm enjoying the process. I showed some good skills out there, I think. So I think I definitely have some more fun to have over here in boxing.
Pettis goes on to confirm he isn't done with MMA just yet.
I don't know yet. I'm not done with MMA yet. I still got some MMA left in me. I definitely want to move up to 170 pounds. I think, doing that tournament at 155, I just couldn't be myself. I was cutting way too much. I couldn't, I didn't feel good in the training camp. So I think once I figure out the weight class in mixed martial arts and the opportunities, I'm a free agent right now. So I get to sit back and take the fights as they come. So I'm in a good spot.
Jose Aldo believes Francis Ngannou made a huge mistake by leaving the UFC. Aldo said, "With all humbleness, I think Ngannou shot himself in the foot. He had everything to sign a great contract, the biggest in heavyweight. But this desire to be a boxing champion or to fight in boxing, people see the top of the boxing pyramid getting paid big numbers, but forget the lower part is paid so little. I think the UFC has bigger salaries than boxing. I see Ngannou tripping about a fight with Tyson Fury, a champion who heavyweights aim at, but don't come anywhere near. It's like saying I want to play soccer because they get paid $1 million, but forget only 5% gets paid millions, the rest make way below that. People say that the UFC doesn't pay well, but it does. That's why it's the biggest organization. You can make money like the big boxers can. Conor McGregor or Ronda Rousey, people say women don't make money and she's made it, right? Ngannou's left the UFC, and you can be sure that 50% is off his name now. In order to make her movies, had to be in the UFC. No one talks about Ronda now because nobody remembers her now. The UFC is elevated alongside the athlete. You need to be in there. You can have a partnership like Conor did with the UFC for his Mayweather fight, and that's how he made millions. I don't know who's wrong, if it's Ngannou or the UFC, so it's hard to judge. We weren't participating in the negotiations, so I'm talking based on what we heard, but they could have been more flexible. Ngannou conceding but saying, I have full capacity to go there and face any boxing champion and represent the UFC's brand. It's all about the negotiation. Darren Till reveals he plans to return to the UFC within the next 2 to 3 years and have one last shot at a title run.
You still obviously got ambitions of getting back in the octagon one day, like trying to get that middleweight title. But yeah.
100%. Like, my aspirations haven't changed in that sense. Like, obviously, when money comes and money goes, ideas and mindsets change. But I've just still got that mindset. I'm only 30. You know, most of the UFC champions and all that are like 34, 35, and I've already been at the top of 30. So I know I can do it. I just need to be directed in the right way. I need to make sure my body's fit and healthy, you know, my mind, and I know I can do it. So, you know, regardless of, let's say, how much money I make outside the UFC now or what I do, that is definitely what I want to do is ultimately in the 2 to 3 years be back at the UFC and having them big fights inside the UFC again. So that's my plan, and hopefully I'll be able to execute it in the right way, do you know what I mean?
Till went on to say he may join PFL or Bellator in the meantime.
I mean, I would, yeah. I mean, the thing for me is probably going to be boxing. I'm probably going to end up boxing, yeah. That's probably what I'm going to end up doing. Yeah. But, I mean, it's, as I say, I've left on good terms with the UFC. It's probably a little bit of a disrespect for me to go to another MMA organisation when I've said to them I want to do this and that. But at the same time, if, let's say, PFL, which have already approached me, by the way, and Bellator come along with an offer I can't refuse, then I have to take it. Like, PFL have already been knocking on the door with a really big offer, and so I would be silly not to, like, turn it down. But I've said, like, you know, come back with something more. So, you know, we'll see. But there's definitely offers on the table from everywhere.
Luke Rockhold reveals he came out of retirement because fighting makes his life worth living. During a recent interview with Morning Combat, Rockhold had this to say.
Fighting makes you feel alive. You know, when you're putting something on the line and it's real and it makes your heart beat, it makes your blood pulse, it makes every bit of you focus in that moment, and you have to be as present as you possibly can. It makes life worth living for me. It's fighting, and I love it. And I'm gonna do it as long as, you know, my head is clear, my eyes are clear. Like I said, I'm sharp as can be. I haven't lost it. Any bit of myself within this game. I feel like, obviously with injuries in my legs and different things, but I feel healthy upstairs and downstairs, and I'm ready to go. I love it.
Jorge Masvidal says that if he loses, he'll be calling it quits from MMA. Masvidal is currently on a 3-fight losing streak, dropping 2 fights to Kamaru Usman and 1 to Colby Covington. If Masvidal loses a 4th, it would take a significant amount of time to even be considered back into the title picture. And at the current age of 38, Masvidal appears to acknowledge that he's close to the tail end of his career. Here's the clip.
If I lose, I'm pretty much calling it quits. But a win against Gilbert means that things are headed in the right direction. So if I roll the dice and I do everything right, I'm going for it all.
What do you guys think? Does Masvidal get it done this Saturday against Darren? Let us know in the comment section below. Guys, thanks so much for checking out the video. If you like the content we do here on this channel, don't forget to like and subscribe to MMA Library for all the latest MMA and UFC news. We'll see you in the next video.